No?
This isn't even a joke anymore, man.
Late at night, a lone motorcyclist rode down an empty road, his GoPro recording every second. Then, the quiet night was broken by a faint, distant sound, someone crying. As he followed the noise, something unusual caught his eye on the right, a figure shaped like a woman standing completely still in the darkness. A woman living deep in the Pacific Northwest woke up early one morning just as the sun began to rise, and noticed something strange near the woods outside her home. When she zoomed in, she saw what looked like someone dressed in a classic witch costume standing motionless among the trees. What unsettled her even more was how isolated the area was. No one in a costume should be out there. Then, things took an even stranger turn. An object nearby appeared to float in midair, sending her into a panic. The video ends shortly after, leaving viewers to wonder, was it a real witch after all? Instagram user MajuSpace was on a multi-day hike to witness a volcano in Chichicastenango, Guatemala. While camping nearby one night, he captured a breathtaking yet haunting sight. Lightning streaked through the erupting volcano, a rare phenomenon known as a dirty thunderstorm. This occurs when particles within volcanic ash collide, generating electrical charges. Similar scenes have been recorded in Indonesia and were even mentioned during the ancient eruption of Mount Vesuvius. It was stunning to behold, yet undeniably eerie to witness so close. One evening, a group of young people were hanging out in a quiet park when they noticed something strange.
Acércale más con la cámara.
Mándale así, así, así. Uy, vete a la verga.
No mames, sí, güey, ahí está. Mira, ahí está.
Media cara, güey. Es media cara nada más, güey.
Mira, sus orejitas, güey. Ahí está, güey. Neta.
From the trunk of a nearby tree, a face seemed to be staring back at them. The faint outlines of eyes, a nose, and even a mouth appeared in the bark. Some people online claimed it looked supernatural, as if something was watching from the woods, while others dismissed it as simple pareidolia. Still, in the dim park light, the sight felt undeniably unsettling. A group of friends were camping deep in the woods when they noticed something truly disturbing. Behind one of the trees, a strange creature could be seen peeking out. It had light-colored fur, small dark eyes, and a nose much smaller than a human's, with thin, almost delicate lips. The person who recorded the footage believes it could be a smaller-sized Sasquatch or some unknown forest creature. Jody Dean and his wife were on an overnight camping trip in a forest rumored to be haunted. They faced bad weather and unsettling noises that only heightened their nerves. After exploring the area, they returned to their tent, and that's when they saw it.
There's somebody by our tent. There's somebody by our tent. Stay behind me. Stay behind me. There's somebody by our fucking tent, bro. There's somebody by our tent. Dude. Bro, there's somebody by our tent.
Stay behind this tree.
A person wearing a disturbing baby mask was standing near their campsite. Jody quickly led his wife to safety, then decided to stay behind and finish the night alone. Throughout the dark hours, strange sounds echoed around him, but he managed to make it through safely by morning. A wildlife enthusiast captured a bear on his trail camera in the Appalachian Mountains, but this wasn't an ordinary bear. It had only 2 hind legs, forcing it to walk upright like a human. At first, the footage looked eerie, especially being filmed deep in the Appalachians, but the trail cam owner soon realized it was simply a disabled bear. It raises an interesting question. Could some of those blurry trail cam clips showing mysterious cryptids actually be deformed animals instead? A YouTuber and his friends went camping deep in the Brazilian forest. They spent the day hiking and filming, then set up camp in a quiet clearing as night fell. While resting inside their tent, a pair of glowing eyes appeared along the tree line.
Dale, 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 dale. Pero la puta que lo parió. Se fue, se fue, se fue.
¿Se fue?
No puede ser,
Cuchillo,
amigo.
agarra un cuchillo.
Desapareció, amigo. Búsquenlo. Sigue estando ahí.
¿Ves?
Se corrió.
The eyes stared directly at them. Something then moved quickly, climbed a nearby tree, and continued watching. Terrified, The group packed their gear and left immediately. On the walk back, they couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. Those glowing eyes seemed to trail them down the path. The footage resembles an animal, yet the stare and movement felt disturbingly unnatural. While hiking deep in the forest, this person suddenly spotted something unsettling and quickly took a photo. Between the trees sat a strange figure. Its face appeared skeletal, and its body looked as if it were made of branches and fur. No one knows what it was or where it came from. Could it have been connected to some kind of ritual or something far more sinister? A man was camping deep in the forest when he stumbled upon an old camper and captured something strange on video. Someone, or something, seemed to be moving inside. The sight terrified him so much that he ran off immediately. When he later reviewed the footage, it was hard to tell what he had seen. The figure's shape and movements were barely visible, almost ghost-like. In 2017, a man was reviewing footage from his trail camera when he noticed something terrifying. A deer stood in the frame, but its neck appeared unnaturally twisted. Some viewers claimed the image was edited, saying that position was physically impossible, while others believed there was something more to it, suggesting the creature was caught mid-transformation. To this day, no one has confirmed whether the image was fake or real. A man was camping when he heard rustling just outside his tent. Curious, he stepped out to check and noticed movement in the darkness. He grabbed his camera and started recording. It was hard to tell if it was an animal or something else entirely, but it was terrifying. All the camper could do was retreat back into his tent, pray, and wait in silence until it was gone. What happened during the rest of that night was never revealed. Amateur photographer Mark Baker was sitting in his van near Guildford, England, testing his new camera timer. He wanted to capture the morning fog as it lifted, so he set the camera to take photos automatically. When he got home and began reviewing the shots, one image stood out. Right in the center, a faint human-shaped figure appeared, pale and almost glowing through the mist. Mark insisted he hadn't altered the photo in any way. "The black specks are just dirt on my windshield," he explained. "But whatever that is, it's far beyond the glass." The picture was taken at the Mount, one of Guildford's highest points, a site once used for public executions centuries ago. So was it merely a trick of the light, or did Mark's camera capture one of the lost souls said to haunt those misty hills? This black and white photo shows Barbara Kent and her friends cooling off in a river near Rudolfo, New Mexico, during the summer of 1945. At first glance, it looks like a carefree childhood moment from a summer camp, but behind the smiles, a tragedy was unfolding. On July 16, 1945, the world's first atomic bomb was detonated at the Trinity site, just 40 to 50 miles away. The blast lit up the pre-dawn sky and shook the girls awake in their bunks. Hours later, white flakes began falling across the mountains. Believing it was snow in July, the campers ran outside in their swimsuits, laughing as they caught the flakes on their tongues and smeared them across their faces. Barbara later recalled thinking the flakes felt strange. They were hot, not cold. Unbeknownst to them, they were playing in radioactive fallout. Officials blamed the explosion on an ammunition accident and assured there was no danger. No one was warned or evacuated. Of the 12 girls at the camp, Barbara Kent was the only one to live into middle age. Most of her friends died young, many before 40. Barbara herself developed 4 different cancers throughout her life. Her teacher and even her mother, who stayed nearby, also died from cancer. The once joyful photo of Barbara and her friends now stands as a haunting reminder of innocence lost, children unknowingly playing in a radioactive snowstorm that would shape the rest of their lives. Dan Ventures Outdoors usually shares calm camping videos, but this trip was different. He and his friends set up camp deep in the forest, shared a few beers, and settled in for the night. As silence filled the woods, Dan began hearing footsteps circling the tent, followed by faint whistling in the dark.
I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like someone or something walking around. Hello?
Just had a quick look. I'm not getting home. I think it might just be like an animal or something. Can't hear anything now. But it sounded like human footsteps.
He called out, but no one answered. His friend hadn't moved. Something was out there. Maybe an animal, maybe not. Whatever it was, it turned a peaceful night into something that still haunts him to this day. A man was exploring an abandoned armory alone when he came across something deeply unsettling. A freshly dug, human-sized hole in the ground. The site was remote, fenced off, and surrounded by thick brush. He snapped a photo, called a friend, and quickly ran back to his car. Police later claimed it was likely from someone digging for relics, but the hole seemed far too deep for that. They set up trail cameras and advised him not to return. He never heard back, but that hole still haunts him to this day. During summer camp, a group of kids took this photo. At first, it looked completely normal, everyone smiling and holding tools. But when you zoom in, a face appears between two girls on the right. It looks translucent and doesn't match any of the other kids. Everyone who was present is already in the picture, so who could it be? Some say it's just light and shadows, a simple case of pareidolia. Maybe so, but this one looks far too detailed to be coincidence. What do you think? Outdoor Tom, Luke's son from Outdoor Boys, joined his dad for a 4-day camping and fishing trip along the Togeek River. On the third day, Tom wandered to a nearby spot, and that's when it happened.
I was right next to him.
Yeah, he was coming around the corner. You see that? You scared him.
Why he scared me?
He saw you and he just came running upstream. Now here, Kami, I got a fish on.
Okay. So when I saw him, he was staring right at me. He looked a little bit smaller, so he may have been younger. Oh, I don't.
You want to come hang out with me instead of over there by the bear?
Yeah. Have you had stuff happen to you like that before? Well, we do not tell mom. We do not tell mom. Until once we get back.
A bear suddenly appeared just a few feet away from him. Startled, Tom ran back to his dad, visibly shaken. Luke stayed calm, keeping his composure as the bear moved off. They decided to keep fishing, but agreed on one thing. They definitely wouldn't be telling Mom about this until they got home. A couple in Greenville, South Carolina took photos during a day out. Later, they noticed a strange figure in the background. When they zoomed in, it seemed to hover slightly above the ground. They hadn't seen anything unusual at the time. After posting the image to Facebook, a local reached out a few days later to explain what they were seeing. It turned out to be just standing water that had darkened over the years. A little disappointing, but at least now the mystery was solved. YouTuber Pasha went exploring an abandoned village deep in the forest, a place locals claimed was haunted by an old woman who wandered at night. As he walked, he noticed wooden symbols hanging from the trees, some tied with strands of hair and bits of string. Soon, pieces of candy began appearing along the path, leading him to a house filled with the same disturbing symbols. He was just settling inside when he heard movement outside. Rushing out, he found no one there. Shaken, Pasha left the woods immediately, still unsure who or what had been with him that night. A man was filming a river in Pinyon Canyon when he began hearing strange noises coming from the trees above. Curious, he turned his camera to investigate and caught sight of something unexpected. A large creature was moving behind the trees. It walked with a human-like stride, yet its size suggested it wasn't an ordinary person. As he continued recording, its shape became more distinct. The man hesitated to share the footage, afraid people would think he was crazy. Eventually, he uploaded it to YouTube, where it received mixed reactions. The video's authenticity remains debated. Was it a trick, a known animal, or possibly Bigfoot? At first, it looked like nothing more than a damp spot, but knowing the place's history made it feel different. Years before, a man had collapsed and died of a heart attack inside that very barn. And just behind it, the neighbor's father had been buried. Could the strange mark be connected to the barn's past? Or was it really just an ordinary stain? A group of explorers from Pakistan set out to investigate an abandoned village. While searching through one of the old homes, they spotted a dark figure standing on a rooftop. Zooming in, they realized it was a small child, no older than 5 or 6. Silently watching them from the shadows. As they moved closer, another child appeared in a nearby building, staring with the same cold, almost inhuman gaze. Moments later, more children began emerging one by one, surrounding the explorers from all sides. It felt as if they were being forced out.
कौन हो? यार यहाँ पे बच्चे करेंगे क्या यार?
Then one of the children picked up a brick and hurled it at the cameraman's back. Panicked, the team fled the village as fast as they could. What happened afterward remains unknown, and who those children were, or why they lived in an abandoned village, is still a mystery. While hiking near Shaver Lake, California, a Facebook user discovered a clump of hair about 15 to 20 feet up in a tree, far too high for most animals to reach. They had to use a truck and ladder just to retrieve it. The area had recently been scorched by a wildfire, so it seemed possible the hair came from an animal fleeing the flames, maybe even a Sasquatch. They sent a message to the Bigfoot Museum in Felton but never received a reply. Eventually, the hair was thrown away, something they now regret, wishing they'd kept it for testing. Wild Happiness is a Russian wildlife channel where the creator often ventures deep into the Siberian wilderness. During one of his winter trips, he decided to camp alone in the snow. He rode his snowmobile far into the forest, set up his tent, and settled in for the night. For hours, everything remained perfectly still, until he began hearing howls in the distance.
Капец, реально волки, друзья. Прям вообще хорошо слышно. Да ну нафиг, я, короче, домой.
Realizing a pack of wolves was closing in, he quickly packed his gear, jumped onto his snowmobile, and sped away into the night. During a family gathering, one relative filmed a lighthearted video. But later, while reviewing the footage, they noticed something unsettling, a pale face peeking out from behind a door. No one had seen it at the time, and no one could explain who or what it was. To this day, it remains a chilling family mystery. 2 women were hiking through a Canadian forest when they stumbled upon a large metallic object resting among the trees.
There's lights on the left. Don't go close. Trying to die.
That's a metal slate.
What?
It's shaped like a mushroom.
Why?
You see it? Yeah.
Oh, it's yeah, because it has trees on top of it.
They could see a faint light reflecting off its surface and noticed that trees were growing on top of it, suggesting it had been there for a long time. Too frightened to get closer, they quickly left the area. Later, they showed the footage to their friends who decided to visit the same spot. But when they arrived, the object was gone. No trace, no marks, nothing left behind. They searched online and asked locals, yet no one had any idea what it could have been. When the story was shared online, many came to the same conclusion. It must have been a UFO. It was All Saints' Day in Sweden when a woman went to visit her brother's grave. As she walked through the cemetery, she decided to take a few random photos. She snapped a couple of shots, put her phone away, and continued her visit. Later that night, while scrolling through her pictures, one image froze her in place. Next to one of the headstones, a faint, childlike figure seemed to appear. She remembered seeing people nearby that day, but no one had been standing in that exact spot. A hiker exploring the Canadian wilderness noticed movement within a gap in the mountain. Curious, he began filming as he moved closer. Inside the opening, something was watching him. A pale figure with large black eyes, a broad forehead, and no visible nose. Startled, the hiker quickly retreated. The footage offers no clear details, leaving everyone to wonder what exactly he encountered that day. A family was filming a light-hearted vlog while walking through the woods, but later, viewers spotted a dark silhouette moving behind them. Some believed it was a creature, perhaps Bigfoot or even a forest spirit. However, on closer inspection, it looked more like something hanging from a tree, maybe just a large leaf. Did we just solve a mystery? While exploring an old house deep in the woods, Alistair, the creator of the channel, accidentally captured something strange on camera. At first, he didn't notice anything unusual, but later, while reviewing the footage, he saw something that shocked him. As he panned the camera across the building,
this looks like it must have been at one point a pool, and here's the main house. Okay.
a pale, ghostly face appeared in one of the windows, silently watching him. Unaware that anyone or anything might be there, Alistair continued moving closer. But by the time he reached the house, whatever had been watching him had vanished. A woman living deep in the woods woke early for work and noticed a glowing light on a tree in her yard. She had no nearby neighbors, no outdoor lights, and the moon wasn't visible that night. Thinking it could be a hidden camera, she quickly filmed it before leaving. Later, her husband slowed down the video and saw what appeared to be a faint face within the light. At dawn, he searched the entire area but found nothing. No light source, no footprints, no reflection. The glow had vanished as suddenly as it appeared, leaving the couple deeply unsettled and confused. A hiker climbing a remote mountain came across a metal door embedded in the rock. It looked strange. No handle, no markings, just a single hole. Curious, he aimed his camera through it, hoping to see what was inside. But the lens captured nothing, only deep, endless darkness. No explanation was ever found for why the door existed or who might have built it. It stood there silently, as if guarding something long forgotten, or something never meant to be discovered. A strange video surfaced on Reddit, shared by a user named FootageFinder57. It shows a group of friends who decided to sneak away from a guided cave tour and explore deeper into sections where visitors weren't allowed. At first, everything seems fine, until a pale figure in white suddenly appears in the darkness.
So scary.
Brian, don't go so fast. Are you there?
I'm just trying to keep up with you.
We have to go back.
Oh, come on, let's keep going. You're what?
Did you not hear that, Ryan? Where's it coming from? This is not funny. Oh my god, do you see? What is that?
Oh my gosh.
Ryan, we have to go back.
Is this the right way?
I don't know.
Guys, I don't know where we are anymore. Okay, let's keep moving forward. This on the walls here. Mass re-navy. The states. Oh. Guys, come up here. Guys, I think I found a way out.
Panic sets in as the group argues about where the sounds are coming from and whether they should turn back. Their voices grow frantic as they realize they no longer know which way leads out. The footage ends abruptly after someone claims to see an exit. But what happened next is unclear. Viewers remain divided. Some believe it's staged, while others insist it's real, saying they've seen similar eerie things in those same caves. A young man went snowboarding alone on a quiet mountain. While gliding through the trees, he suddenly noticed something strange. A woman standing completely still among the woods. Startled, he stopped and turned back, but she was gone. The spot where she had been was empty, not a single footprint in the snow. Later, he shared the footage online, but no one could explain who or what he had really seen that day. Late one night, a man witnessed something unusual. A group of people walking in a strange, synchronized way. There were men, women, and even children among them. When he shared the footage, some viewers assumed they were simply drunk, but others, particularly members of the Asian community, suggested something darker, that it could be part of a ritual or cult gathering. They believed the person leading the group might have been their guide, possibly preparing them for a collective act, maybe even a group suicide. Bucks, a YouTuber known for his Omegle videos, filmed a trip to St. Leonard's Forest, a place rumored to be haunted by a headless ghost. He and his friends began by exploring an old church surrounded by graves before heading into the forest later that night. When they first arrived, they noticed a parked car nearby, which made them uneasy. They decided to leave and return later, around 2 a.m. Once back, they started their exploration, but it didn't take long before eerie sounds echoed through the trees.
That's not a dog. Is there no houses around?
It's a circle. It's like
shit, like a fire.
Yeah, they put something here, and then they'd all sit around in a circle. Nah, this is not what this. I do not feel comfortable. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm just not getting a good vibe from here at all. Whereas back there, I wasn't that bad, but right here in this place, we're getting to open space. This is like territory for like cults, and you know what I mean. Like, this is danger territory right here. Yeah, if someone's to set up a cult, it would be on like flat, open ground like this, right? I'm getting really hot and uncomfortable.
Nah, fuck that. No. This isn't even a joke anymore, man. Get oh
shit! Oh, there's another car. There's another car there. Get the fuck in. There's another car. Get in.
They found what looked like a ritual circle with burnt marks and objects arranged on the ground. The atmosphere quickly shifted. The group grew tense, feeling watched. Moments later, something or someone seemed to peek out from behind a tree. Terrified, they sprinted back toward their car, only to find another vehicle parked right beside it. Whether it was someone trying to scare them or something far stranger remains unknown. What if you stumbled upon a GoPro in the woods with no owner in sight? That's what happened to a group of campers who discovered one left behind and decided to check the footage. As they played back the final moments, they were shocked by what they saw. A strange figure watching the riders who had filmed it. Moments after the figure appeared, the video abruptly cut off. Despite efforts to trace the people in the footage, no one has ever identified them. Some believe they were tourists, but if they had such a terrifying encounter, wouldn't they have come forward? It raises a chilling thought. Could this have been the last recording of those riders? YouTuber A Journey had planned to reach a hunter's cabin before nightfall, but soon realized he wouldn't make it in time. While searching for shelter, he found an abandoned treehouse nearby and decided to spend the night there. After settling in, he noticed a pack of wolves circling below. Staying in the treehouse kept him safely out of reach and likely prevented a dangerous encounter. His decision to stop and wait rather than continue hiking in the dark probably saved his life. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.